Yo, what is up guys? This is Spectrum Reviews back with a brand new video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Masterpiece movie series, MPM-3, Bumblebee. As you can see, we got the packaging right here, and let's take a quick look at it. So we got Bumblebee in both modes right there on the front, Takara Tomy Hasbro, Transformers, MPM, Chevy logo, nothing fancy on the bottom. You got 10 years of Transformers. On this side, you got a nice image of both of his modes right there and right there. Very nice. On this side, you've got a sort of angled shot of the camera mode right there. On the back, you've got all of his features and stuff like the flip-down battle mask, his articulated hands, and his removable plasma cannon. That's the correct term, not a Singer blaster. You got him in both modes yet again. All this stuff on the bottom, GM, Hasbro, and not much else on the bottom. So, before we get him out here, I know a lot of people do this, and I mean, I don't know why they do, but they like to compare the size of the packaging between MPM Prime and MPM Bumblebee. So if you wanted to see that, here it is. It's about 10% smaller and about 20% thinner, maybe 30 or 40%. I'm not too sure. Also, I know that people complain about how cheap the packaging feels. All I have to say to you guys is it's flippin' packaging. Like, why the hell does it matter? It's a box that the figure comes in to protect it from harm. It's not supposed to be something super huge and fancy and whatnot. So without further ado, let's get him out and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, here we have MPM-3 Bumblebee open up and out of his packaging, and man, oh man, this figure is flippin' awesome. Just wow. I wish the color wasn't like... I wish it was more... Give me a second, let me see if I can, fix that maybe. I think that might have helped. I opened up the blinds a little bit to see if it could, correctly depict the color a bit better. There we go, let's focus on the figure there. But yeah, very, very nice camera mode indeed. Let's see. Take a look at that front there. Come on, focus. What are you focusing on? Now we'll just have to manually focus it then. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. I don't want to really zoom in on all the details because, the auto blur is going to come into place and sort of mess it up. But you got Camaro right there. On the side you got the painted door handles. Painted turn signals on the front and the back. The only thing that's not really painted is the Autobot logo right there. So yeah, let's take a look at the back. I know people are saying that this license plate is not accurate to the film, but I just wanted to say that it actually is. Coming from someone who's watched at least the first three movies more than 3 times over, and the 4th and 5th one like twice or 3 times. I know what the license plate is for Bumblebee in at least the first 3 films. I believe it changes in the 4th one, then it goes back to being 4NZZ454 in the 5th one, if I'm not mistaken, and it says California on the back there. I believe that says July as well, right there with the little blue box. I don't know what that is. Maybe like the number coding or whatever. Here in Indiana we have license plates that are sort of like that. But yeah, he rolls very well actually, but I had the same widespread problem in my vehicle mod that a lot of people do, with the 3 wheels rolling and 1 not really touching the ground. I believe it has something to do with the way that these panels align with the inner leg on the bottom, because I've noticed that it's sort of misaligned. I don't know if you I don't know if you guys can see that, but it seems a bit misaligned, which it's not a big issue, I don't really mind. I used to care a lot about that stuff, but anyway, let's get into some size comparisons. I know I'm rambling on a lot about this guy, but yeah, so first off, obviously we're going to bring in Battleblade Bumblebee here. See how they look together. And they look, yeah, I mean, they're Bumblebee. If you wanted to see that, there it is. Here he is with Battleblade's Optimus Prime. Set Prime in the back here. And this is horribly out of scale, I know, but, again, if you wanted to see that, there it is. And last but definitely not least, this is MPM Optimus Prime compared to Bumblebee. And I did a lot of research on this. Not a lot, but I searched through Google to find some images like depicting how a Camaro would look next to a Peterbilt 379 semi-truck. And this is accurately scaled. At least looking at the age of extinction classic Camaro version of Bumblebee next to him, he comes up to about the midsection of the air canister and about the bottom of the door, just like he does here. Well, more midsection of the door, but you get what I mean. And this is how they look head-on. Let's see here. There you go. Get a look at that real quick. Looks very nice in my opinion. And let's get all four of them in this shot here. Give me just 1 second. Sort of a strange angle, but there you go. Here's all four of them, you know, side by side by side by side. So without further ado, let's get on to transformation. Alright, in order to start transformation, what you want to do, well, you want to open the doors to start off, of course, but you sort of want to grab here, and then grab back here and sort of pull it out of the tab just like that on both sides. So it, well, or you can, you know, pull that down and release it all together, whatever you want to do. And this, at this point, you can sort of pull this out to the side, and then you want to extend it on this slider joint that has 3 hinges inside of it. Then, well, yeah, so you can pull it forward and push it against the wheel just like that. And it doesn't press all the way against the wheel, as you can see, because there's a hindrance right here, so don't try to do that, otherwise you will break the joints. So same thing on this side. You want to pull out on the slider joints just like that and pull it forward. Next thing I like to do is I like to come back here and I like to split all this apart just like that and release this from itself. And then you want to come to the fronts and you want to sort of pull this up like this and then fold it back just like that. Next thing you can do is come up here, fold this in, and you don't want to fold this in just yet. What you're going to do now is you're going to come to the fronts and you're going to pull the wheels out slightly. This is similar to Battle Blade Bumblebee if you've ever had that figure. Then you want to pull the bottom section out. I'm going to put it right there for now. And you want to sort of pull the arms down a little bit, right? And that gives you clearance to fold these wheels all the way back. Pull them out to the side just like so. Just like that. And there you go. That step's done. Now what you want to do is you can fold this into itself and just leave it right there for now. We're going to come to the legs, bring this bottom section of the body down, and this will sort of soft tab into place by pushing it down twice, just like that, right? Now what I like to do is I like to untab these the tire vents from, or the tire guards from the bottom section of the vehicle, and then you want to extend the leg down. You will hear it ratchet, and there we go. Just like that. Same thing on this side. Oh. Just like that. Now what you want to do is you want to come back here, grab the bumper section of the vehicle, and pull it up just like that. Now it will give you clearance to pull down the heel spur along with the toe all the way down, and then you want to sort of flip the toe out and the heel spur back just like that. Same thing on this side. Bring the bumper section up. 1 second. Just like that. Heel spur down. So out. Heel spur out. Just like so. Now, you can take this wheel, untab it from place. Make sure this is extended fully forward. Then you want to flip this down. Flip the heel spur down. And then you want to make sure that this is aligned so that the square portion is aligned with the hole. And then you want to tab this into that. Just like that. And one foot's all done. Same thing on the other side. Bring this all the way forward. Bring this down. Bring the heel spur down. Make sure it's aligned. Just like that. And it would look like that when it's aligned. Then you can tab this into place. Hopefully it'll work here. Sorry, I'm looking through the viewfinder to do the transformation, so it's kind of kind of tricky. Now, there's a tab right here that will tab into this hole right here. You want to sort of bring that forward just like so. And tab it into place. Same thing on this side. Bring that forward. Come on, B. You got this, buddy. Tab it into place. Now, you want to bring this up, bring this back, and then flip it down. Bring it back, flip it down. And you've got his legs all finished for the most part. Let's move on to the upper body here. Next thing you want to do, pull these chest sections forward just like so. Just like so. And then you want to push on the bonnet section. You want to push this in. And then you want to grab right here and sort of you will see his head at this point, and then what you want to do is come behind here, grab your fingers, grab right here, and sort of push that through. And then if your copy's a bit tight like mine is, you want to sort of pull the front section of the vehicle out a little bit so that this can tab into place just like so. And then you want to bring his collar pieces out on either side. Just like that. And now, I believe this gives you clearance. Bring his arms forward. To come to the back here. And fold all this beneath him. At least it should. Yes, just like that. And then this will sort of get into a resting position just like so. Now what you want to do is take these panels on the doors. There's a tab right here that will go into this hole right there. Sort of tab it into place, and this will be his lower side of wings. Just like that. See? There we go. Now we're almost finished, ladies and gentlemen. Sort of stand him up here. Raise this up. Give me just 1 second. Alright, we've closed the blinds and we got the tripods raised up, so it's easier to focus on the figure. Alright, now, I'm going to bring this down, tab this in. Oh, there we go. And then what's happened to the back right there, just like so. Sorry, I know I keep changing angles, but I thought I needed the tripod legs, but guess not. Alright, now at this point, you want to come in here, and there are these little gray bits right here. You want to sort of flip these up, and on my copy, I unfortunately have to friction them into place instead of actually tabbing them, because there's something that's misaligned in my figure. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but yeah, so what I like to do is I sort of like to hold the text sections into place and then push that behind them, sort of frictioning it in place on either side of the figure. And it will lock his chest into place too. Just like that. And you want to come back to the back on the wings, fold these back, and then sort of angle these up on either side, just like so. Give me a second. And his wings will look like that when you're finished. And this is the final step of the transformation. You want to untab these arm panels, bring them forward, grab this peg, flip his hand out, just like that. Bring this back down and tab it in. Do the same on the other side. just like that. There we go. And this is the final step, I promise. I want to sort of bring these down and bring them forward. Bring these down, bring them forward. And ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, here you have Bumblebee, Masterpiece Bumblebee, in his robot mode. Looking very, very nice indeed. Let's get his head up here. So yeah. And as you can see, just a really gorgeous figure overall. Here we have him in sort of a more reserved pose. Because of this guy's balancing issues, he really can't pull off the most dynamic poses, which is sort of unfortunate. But yeah, so let's get a quick 360 of him from head to toe. And there is the back wings right there, looking very nice. Back of the legs. Very nice looking figure indeed. Things that this figure has done that no other Bumblebee figure has ever done before. They consist of the lower set of wings, the wheels being able to go inside of the feet instead of being on the side of them or on the inner side of the feet. This portion of the car becoming his calf instead of calf slash lower tendons of the leg instead of just being the calf and calf alone. Another thing is these windows going up into the body instead of just sticking right out of the back as a backpack. And on my copy, mine, this won't tab in because of all the resistance that's placed from this rubbing against the roof of the car inside of the body, which is fine. I don't really mind. So yeah. Let's go over his articulation. So from head to toe, he can look up about that far, which is not too bad. He can look down a good bit as well. His head can rotate from... He can actually pull off a full 360, but I wouldn't recommend it due to how much resistance there is when you rotate the head. His collar pieces are on, or collar bones are on ball joints, so you can position those however you want. Arms can go out that far. The shoulder pieces can be removed to accommodate for further movements, like so. Oh, shit. That's not supposed to happen. Come on, B. Doing so well before. Alright. Got a inner bicep pivots, bicep rotation, 90 degrees of elbow bend, and he has hand articulation as well, consisting of the lower two fingers being melded together. Well, as you can see, they all have 2 points of articulation, and the thumb is independently articulated as well, with wrist rotation, of course. He has waist rotation as well, although mine's very tight for some reason. So there you go, there's that. Legs can go up as high as well, about that high, which is really good actually. They can go back about that far. Rotation at the thigh. Double jointed knees, but you really can't get much more bend than 90 degrees out of them. His feet do not move down or up, but they do have a pivoting joint, and they have toe rotation as well. And of course you can move the toe up and down and the heels for down and whatever. So yeah. Size comparison knobs. Here we have the new MPM-3 Bumblebee next to MPM-4 Optimus Prime and Battleblade Bumblebee and Battleblades Prime. And yeah, just some much better scaling with these two than against these two. And after you have these two figures, these things kind of start to look ugly after a while. So yeah, let's get these guys out of the way, and yeah. Alright, I believe it's about time to go over his features. So here's the battle mask, and the correct way that I found to do this is to get 2 fingers, like 2 of your nails, on either side of the gray bits on the top section of the helmet, and then sort of push beneath it, and then, you know, kind of pull this back, and then you can pull this down just like so. And, you know, when I saw this like on video and in pictures and stuff, I didn't really like it as much as I do with this, but in person it actually looks really nice, and I kind of prefer it over the face. I don't know, like, I like the face a lot too, but he just kind of looks like he's always freaking out all the time. So, you know, I think this is a nice alternative, and yeah, so let's go over the Stinger Blaster as well. So what you want to do is untab this arm panel, bring it out like so. I believe that's the correct way that the fist is supposed to go in. Ah, yes. Just so make sure it's facing that way when you try to push it in there. Otherwise, it won't fully be able to go inside of there. And then what you want to do, let's get this situated here, is you want to grab the plasma cannon, of course. You want to find the holes, which are right there, and make sure that they're aligned with those holes right there. Just like that. And on my copy, I can't really close it all the way, or else it like untabs and becomes a huge ugly mess. So like what I like to do is sort of extend this forward, just like that. Sort of soft tab it into place. So, you know, because if you start to go past that point, it starts to split, as you can see. So yeah, I definitely don't like that. Give me just a moment. So yeah, my copies kind of mess up in that aspect, and it really sucks, but I mean, at least it works, and at least I can get it on there, you know? So yeah, there's all that for you. Final thoughts, comments, and concerns about the figure. The all plasma cannon arm error thing really sucks. The 3-wheel issue in the vehicle mode is very bad as well, but oh, and also the tabbing between the gray sections on the side and the roof of the car going inside of the body really suck as well. But other than that, this figure is really nice, really well put together. I like all the die-cast in them. Feels very nice to have that on this figure. Although I wish there was more on the bottom, so there was like more stabilization with standing and stuff. And of course, I also do have an issue with the way that his stability works. But before we get into the good, I watched a review where this guy said that they preferred this figure right here, Battleblade Bumblebee, over the MPM Bumblebee, and I don't know what kind of drugs you're on, buddy, but you're wrong. This figure is top of the line. This is the one that you want to get. If you're a Bumblebee fan, if you're a Bayverse Bumblebee fan, get this figure. I got mine for $40 off of eBay, which is a really good price. But I got lucky, you know. I usually get like good my prices off of eBay because I really like to search for huge discounts and stuff like that. The good things about the figure, just everything. The transformation is fun. It's simple. Yet it's. I've noticed with these MPM figures, I take a lot more time transforming them than I do traditional Transformers figures. But I think that's a good thing. You know, I think there should be more time involved. Love the articulation. Love the proportions. This is the most accurate Bumblebee figure that you're ever going to get, and I can't recommend him enough. Final rating. This guy gets, I think, a 9 out of 10. Because he has a couple more issues than MPM Prime does. But overall, he's a really nice figure and he's worth picking up. By the way, Transformer score is in the background. For every Transformers review, I'm going to be doing the Transformer score in the background, so get used to that. Yeah, this has been Spectrum Reviews, and I'm rolling out. We'll see you guys later. Peace!